All right, so marathon taper.
How you living?
4 more 1000s. Feeling easy today. Taper time. Alright, we're here at the Austin High Track, Team Atreyu, talking about the taper. What is a taper? What does it feel like? I'm going to give you my layman's view. I've done this more than a handful of times to where I can give you my unsolicited, I'm not a coach. I'm just telling you from experience. I want to give you the boots on the ground kind of taper feel. And I'll divide it into two things, mental and physical. The physical part is easier to explain in my case, so I'll just go for that first. During our training cycles, whether it be an Ironman or a marathon, whether it be 3 months or 4 months or 6 months, and in some cases a year, where people are training and building up and building up and building up fitness, but also building up fatigue, building up soreness, building up all kinds of stuff that you can imagine. It's like this wall. I don't know which way it's looking, but it's like it keeps climbing, the fitness and the fatigue. And then it gets to this point where it says the body is enough. Like the body, it needs to stop. And I'm essentially what some people would refer to as I'm peaking. Or it's at the end of my training cycle, or whatever the lingo is. But essentially, we reach this period in time where we need to capitalize on the training. We don't just relay right onto race day. So in order to capitalize on the physical nature of both the build in fitness or strength and also fatigue, we need to build a timeline before the race to where the body can store that, replenish and repair. Specifically, we're talking physically right now. So in my case, my muscles are sore. Done a lot of strength workouts. I just kind of feel almost a little bit bruised from the torso down. Really heavy legs. Just did my last workout. It was 10Ks at half marathon pace and down to 10K pace or 5K pace. Pretty fast for me today, but it kind of felt really good today. Anyway, so that taper, that period of time, in my case, it's an aggressive 3 weeks because I've been training for so long. And that 3 weeks, what that means is it's kind of a percentage in both drop in intensity and mileage, like 15% down on intensity and mileage. And then the second week is 15% down on intensity and mileage, and the third down to like a 30-mile week or something like that, like something that's pretty mellow for a race day. And so essentially the physical component is you have, from my uncoached, my non-coach layman perspective, it is so important to let the body build back up from all the stress that you've put on it during the physical nature of your training block. Not only does it feel good, but it's, in my opinion, it's absolutely necessary to kind of extract the benefits of why you put in months of training in the first place. It feels paradoxical. It almost would feel, now let's talk about the mental part, is it feels like you kind of take your foot off the gas. And the fear, especially during my first Ironman or my first marathon, was that the second that I stop running fast is the second that I'm going to lose my fitness, and what's going on here, and why did I do all this work to just like lose it in the next 2 weeks or a week or 10 days or whatever the taper is. And that's just, it's mentally very difficult to understand. Luckily, I've done it a few times to where I know that pent up energy and that excitement that you can build up going into race day is worth every second of the taper. So really accept the jitters, accept that kind of mental battle to where you might feel like you're going to lose your fitness. Your legs feel heavy and you're supposed to feel better, and it's marathon time and I'm supposed to be more fit, right? And the answer is no. You're supposed to repair. You're supposed to repair mentally and physically during the taper. That's what it's for. I encourage and invite everybody to just enjoy it. Ride the wave of the taper. Let it kind of mess with your mind a little bit and understand what that feels like. Objectively take a look at those thoughts, like watch them come and go, and then really just trust your training, trust your coach if you have one. I do. I put all the power of my training into the coach, making sure that I'm upfront and honest about what's really going on. And I have a great coach right now, and I'm very happy to fully submit to this taper, because on race day I do plan on executing on the intense training and all the work that I've been putting in. So just remember, physically this is a repair time, and mentally ride the wave of it, because it can be just a really beautiful time. In fact, it's my favorite time. Race day, and I'll end it with, race day is always the race day is the reward. 100%. Race day is always the reward. You've already put in the work. Enjoy the taper. The taper is the completion of the months of training that everybody has put in. And so the job is done. Just go have fun, execute on a great race. As my coach would say, race a beautiful race, and really just trust your body and your mind, and just go out there and see what happens. Nothing is guaranteed on race day, but you can really solidify the fact of, you can build up esteem and healthy pride based off of what you've done in training. So that's what I got. That's the non-coaches, layman's perspective on the taper, whether it be Ironman, marathon, all of the above. Griffin, how's your taper going, man?
Man, the taper, I'm in that mental space where I feel like I am out of it.
Yeah, Griffin's going through it, y'all.